What inspired you to change so that you can, in fact, even start working with a Christian pastor, James Wuye?
I think there are two important factors. One of the most important factors is the same Quran falling in the hand of the unfortunate, misguided, ill-equipped, and mischievous religious leaders. They misled me as a young man 20 years ago. They promote the language of hate, and they find scriptural text to justify hate within the scripture of the Holy Quran. Then I hate anybody around me, especially those who doesn't belong to my faith. And this was linked to some historical phenomenon that had to do with colonization, the colonial conquest of northern Nigeria. That was the first important factor that pushed me to hate. Whereas what pushed me to love was meeting the ideal religious leaders who tell me that in the language of the Quran and within the premises of being a Muslim, you can be two, not one. You cannot be a Muslim at the same time be a hater. You cannot be a Muslim and without a forgiving spirit in you. And he gave me references to the life journey of Muhammad in Mecca, Muhammad in Medina, before he has power and when he has political and all powers in his hand, he never takes vengeance on his enemies and those who persecuted him. So giving me this knowledge, this is a new phenomenon for me, that you cannot be true Muslims with hating your neighbor, with causing pains and tears to your neighbor. This is not the language of the Quran. And he made it clear in the Quran that anybody who has killed a soul is as he has destroyed humanity together. So you cannot be a Muslim and go to shed the blood. If you do that, you are denying yourself the spiritual reward, the celestial journey that every Muslim who want to be a Muslim will have.
You have actually been quoted that at some point you actually said that at the end of the day, you have all been stupid. Talking about both the Islamic teachers and the Christian teachers in your neighborhood. What exactly did you mean by saying, at the end of the day, you actually had been both stupid?
Recognizing and realizing that initially I was feeling that I'm doing a work for God, or hating those who doesn't look like me, who doesn't believe in what I believe in. I thought I was doing a good service to God. Then I recommend to recognize, to realize that the same Islamic teaching does not teach hate. It teaches love. The others are being misled, misguided, manipulated because of the level of my knowledge that is so low. So realizing that, I realize I've been fooled. I realize how stupid I am, that this is the person that the Quran told me to love. Quran told me that the medium of measuring my scale as a good Muslim or bad Muslim is how I relate with my neighbor, especially those who doesn't even look like me, who doesn't believe in what I believe in. So recognizing that, I say, wow, how stupid have I been? All this while I thought I was making the service for God for promoting hatred, whereas the same scripture I depend upon has told me clearly with a true interpretation that the only ticket for me to have the face of God, to have the love of God, is to love my neighbor. God will not measure me with how much time I spend in the mosque, but how much time I was able to relate with the other, redeeming their humanity. That is what makes me look stupid. Secondly, I recognize that if you are able to rehumanize the other, and you have more people around from different persuasion of ideology, of belief, of culture, you live side by side with them in harmony, you become a better human being.